The anecdote of Kevin Costner talking to Prince William about Diana, the new picture of the Duke and Duchess of Edinburgh on their silver wedding anniversary, and all the amazing photos from the second day of the Royal Ascot. This and more on tonight's show. Hello and welcome back, my Royal Rogues. My name is Jesus Enrique Rosas. I'm the Royal Rogue, and this is a friendly reminder that we are so close to 200,000 Rogues, and all you need to do is hit the subscribe button so we can get there before the Royal Rogue's 2-year anniversary on June 25th. Thank you! Let's kick off with this awesome story involving Kevin Costner and Prince William. Imagine this. Kevin's chilling in England when he gets this message that Prince William wants to meet up. And Kevin's like, What? The prince wants to chat. But then he goes, well, okay, let's do this. So they meet up in this private room, just the two of them. Prince William walks in, shakes Kevin's hand, and the first thing he says is, you know, my mom kind of fancied you. How sweet is that? Kevin was totally charmed. He says the whole thing was really sweet and William came across as a really nice guy. Now, get this. Years earlier, Kevin was talking with Princess Diana about a sequel to The Bodyguard. Yeah, you heard that right. And Sarah Ferguson, aka Fergie, set the whole thing up. And she could have been like, hey, what about me? But she was super cool about it. Diana and Kevin started chatting and it was a pretty special moment. Kevin's looking back on his life and career, saying it's been unusual but mostly beautiful. From classics like The Untouchables and Dances with Wolves to Field of Dreams, he's done pretty much it all, and he's not done yet. This summer he's dropping 2 new movies from his Western epic Horizon, an American saga where he's not just acting but also writing and directing. But the royal anecdote kind of explains why he couldn't care less about the Montecito morons when they attended his fundraiser, and Meghan, being Meghan as usual, wanted to take the mic for herself. It's wonderful how one can connect the dots with the benefit of hindsight. And a new photograph of the Duke and Duchess of Edinburgh to celebrate their 25th wedding anniversary on June 19. The image was taken by photographer Chris Jeff in the gardens of Bagshot Park last week. So, back in the summer of '99, Miss Rhys Jones struts down the aisle at St. George's Chapel, defying all odds. And fun fact, it is said that the Queen's first words on meeting Sophie, daughter of a canned tire salesman, were reportedly, "You wouldn't pick her out of a crowd." Ouch. But Sophie, now Duchess of Edinburgh, has been anything but ordinary, proving herself to be the ultimate partner for the Queen's youngest son. And today, Prince Edward and Sophie are celebrating their silver wedding anniversary in their signature low-key style. No fireworks, but just class. The palace even released a new photo of the couple snapped earlier this month, and there's talk they might hit up Royal Ascot later. Their secret to success? Keeping it low-key, both as a couple and as royal. So, how did this love story kick off? Imagine this. July 16, 1993, Edward is supposed to pose with tennis star Sue Barker for a charity game, but she bails at the last minute and enters Sophie, the event publicist's most photogenic colleague, with her golden hair and blue eyes catching Edward's eye instantly. And a few months later, Edward invites her for a tennis match and dinner. They dated like a regular couple, hitting up curry spots and the theater. And despite initial skepticism from the Queen, Sophie quickly won her over with her genuine, no-nonsense attitude. And by the time they wed in '99, they had set a trend with their choice of St. George's Chapel, a trend followed by other royals like Charles and Camilla, Harry and Meghan, and Princess Eugenie. Their wedding was as unfussy as they are, with a simple carriage ride and no grand public spectacle. And fast forward to now, Sophie and Edward are pillars of the modern royal family. Edward carries on his father's legacy with the Duke of Edinburgh award, while Sophie has been taking on more royal duties, especially abroad. So here's to Edward and Sophie on their 25th anniversary. Cheers to the next 25 years of keeping it real and classy. And the Royal Ascot is one of the most prestigious and well-known horse racing events in the world, deeply rooted in British history and tradition. The event takes place annually at Ascot Racecourse in Berkshire, England, and is attended by members of the British royal family, including the reigning monarch. Prince William leading the royal carriage procession with Queen Camilla because Charles had a scheduled conflict with a crown polishing issue or something. The origins of Ascot date back to 1711 when Queen Anne founded the racecourse. She famously remarked that the area was ideal for horses to gallop at full stretch. And since its inception, the event has enjoyed continuous royal patronage. And King George IV introduced the Gold Cup in 1807, which has become one of the most coveted prizes in flat racing. There have been spectacular pictures this year, such as this one of Prince William taken by Chris Jackson. A moment of calm during a frenetic day was the caption by the legendary photographer. And Carole and Michael Middleton showed up looking fabulous for the second day of Royal Ascot, marking their first public appearance since Catherine's cancer diagnosis. Dressed to the nines, they arrived all smiles, and here you can see them chatting with William. And even without the King and Kate, the royal crew was out in full force. Zara and Mike Tyndall were there, and Zara, we could say that she was the official hugger of the family. She was hugging William with one arm and listening very attentively, like a supporting way. You know that Sarah has that energy and she never misses any opportunity to show that love. Not that Mike wasn't doing his part as well. You know how the cousins get along with each other. But continuing with Sarah's hugging spree, here we can see her chatting to the Duchess of York, and even if they have their backs turned to us, we can see that they are all smiles. And a special mention of this embrace between Zara and Lady Gabriella Kingston, who, it's nice and lovely to see her at the Royal Ascot today after what she has been through after the demise of her husband Thomas. It can't be easy, but right here the Princess Royal is riding with her and giving some of that wonderful mojo that only Princess Anne has. And coming back to Carole Middleton, I want to mention her again briefly, just as a reminder that she was included in all these crazy conspiracies made up by the Sausage Squad, in which they created all these toxic narratives about Catherine and her disappearance, which were thunderously taken down the moment she appeared at Trooping the Colour. But now the Middletons casually hanging out with the future king, I think there's no better way to shut their mouths. And, only because I know you like the subject, here's a picture of Johnny Thompson with the Queen. I think there's no further commentary needed. And since we were talking about Edward and Sophie earlier, I must include this picture of them arriving. And, I am not a fashion expert, so I would like you to help me with this one. What do you think about Sophie's dress? I mean, I like geometric patterns, and these 4-petal flowers have a nice rhythm to them, but I couldn't help but notice the exact spot in which the neat petal rhythm was, all over the place. I'm sorry, this is the kind of things that I just can't avoid spotting. It is strange, right? With so much care put in all those little flowers, but maybe I'm the only crazy one who spotted this. Never mind. And I don't mention the Duchess of Gloucester very often, but she looked amazing today during the trophy presentation of the Queen's vase. And these pictures, taken again by Chris Jackson, were just awesome, with the flowers in the background and her wonderful smile. The image speaks for itself. And Ascot has always been the highlight of the racing calendar, and it's as much about the social scene as it is about the races. This year, with a record 10 million prize pot, the stakes are high and the outfits are even higher. But Rogues, I would love to know what you think about this in the comments. My name is Jesus Enrique Rosas. I'm the Royal Rogue. And remember, much love and bliss.